The central government's office is right up ahead. That's where you can submit the completed forms. As you took a step forward, you noticed RAPI stayed planted where she stood. Perplexed, you asked if she wasn't coming with you. A Nikke cannot enter the central government offices except under very special circumstances. It seemed odd to have such specific formalities. Again, you ask why such a rule existed. Because there's a high chance we will see a negative side of the commander inside. The way she phrased it was mysterious, but you had yet to know what she meant by those words. I will wait. Go in. You open the door and head inside. It is quite noisy inside. The majority of the sound comes from people who are shouting. They are dressed in the same military uniform as you are. The people sitting behind the counters are all either quiet or smiling awkwardly. You decide to get in line. You can hear a commander talking to the staff in front of you. The commander was protesting loudly, heated upon seeing the amount of his salary. He had only just arrived back from the surface, nearly losing his life during his mission. The salary you've been given is accurate. He hurled his frustration at the clerk. His life amounting to mere pennies was outrageous. This is the designated payment for all basic transport operations. Protesting against her pushback, he punctuated his efforts and the loss of his 2 Nikkes. Commander, whether an incident does or does not occur during an operation is entirely dependent on your own capabilities as a commander. Please understand that there is nothing more we can do for you in this situation. It was like talking to a brick wall. The anger was apparent in the commander's voice at the cushy life that the clerk was allowed to live without knowing the struggles of the surface. Next, what can I help you with? Still, he was ignored and treated like another drop in the bucket. Do I have to call security? Callously shooed away, the commander was in disbelief. Next! The commander in front leaves the building in a huff. You sit in the empty seat. What can I help you with? You decide to set the earlier interaction aside for the moment. You tell her that you were there to submit your reports. Very well. Hand them to me, please. You hand over the reports to the employee. The employee's gaze shifts back and forth between the monitor and the forms as they type away on the keyboard. Suddenly, the employee freezes, then gives a cordial smile. Nice to meet you, Commander. It's an honor to finally meet the person behind all the rumors. The veracity of your op reports has been confirmed. Would you like your salary deposited directly to your bank book, or would you like a voucher? You weren't quite certain what the difference was. It helps determine the availability of certain transactional options. The clerk seemed to notice your perplexity. I can see that you're not familiar with this process, so I've deposited the funds directly into the bank book. The deposit has been completed. Could you please confirm? There is a new entry in the bank book and the amount. The shock was written all over your face as you read the amount over and over again. Yes, in light of the difficult nature of the operations, the amount has been raised accordingly. Please continue your efforts on behalf of humanity. You exit the office. As you walk out, you notice the other commanders. Many of them are crouched down in front of the office building, or staring at the wall sighing. Commander, is it all taken care of? Still in a slight daze, you tell her you've received payment. Then let's go purchase the necessities we require. You call out to RAPI. Yes? The earlier interaction still stuck in your mind. You ask if commanders had it hard. Yes, they do. Most of us are led to believe that commanders are elite figures who have undergone a proper education in the military academy, and that they are heroes who work with Nikkes to recapture the surface. However, that couldn't be further from the truth. Their so-called proper education doesn't even last a year. It's not nearly enough time to learn all there is to know about the art, Nikkes, and raptures. Instead, during their time at the military academy, commanders are essentially brainwashed. They're told they are the ones who will save humanity, and Nikkes are merely tools meant to serve commanders and mankind itself. This is the narrative they drill into their minds. I'm sure you yourself have noticed it. Your silence was the answer. As a result, the mortality rate amongst commanders is staggering. They're thrown into operations without proper preparation. This, along with their lack of empathy for Nikkes under their command, often leads to disaster. And most crucially, commanders do not receive pay if they fail to complete an operation. There is no concept of hourly, weekly, monthly, or annual salaries. You are paid upon successful completion of an operation, or not at all. The salary also depends on the difficulty of the operation. You risk your life going up to the surface where you carry out operations and get paid based on your performance. In a way, it's just like being a mercenary. And that's where we start seeing some internal conflict. Those who go through the military academy are led to believe they are above the rest of society. They are full of confidence and have no doubt that they are truly the ones who will save humanity. But soon after, they're faced with reality. Once they realize they've been risking their lives for pennies, they take out their frustrations on the staff. It's a rude awakening. Some commanders find themselves unable to cope and resort to extreme measures. Still, you couldn't find the words. However, very few people in the Ark even know about this. That's because the Ark continues to venerate the commanders. As a result, the competition for entry into the military academy remains fierce. You ask about Operation Report vouchers. It's one method of receiving payment after successfully completing an operation. You can carry it around and exchange it for cash when needed. You pressed on, wondering why that was needed. Commanders are members of the elite. Many unscrupulous people set their sights on commanders who are fresh graduates from the military academy. They are extremely susceptible to being hacked. Currency within the Ark is also digitized, and it's not too difficult to hack the system. Therefore, vouchers are a way of making sure that you don't lose a lot of money at once. Vouchers seem to have their own vulnerabilities. Well, there are some minimal safety procedures to prevent anyone other than a commander from cashing them in. But, overall, they are indeed not entirely safe. However, Operation Report vouchers do have one other special use. You couldn't guess the reason yourself. Commanders can exchange vouchers to receive their salary. However, the vouchers are not commander-specific. Any commander can use any voucher. Slowly, the information was piecing together. Yes, they can be used to transfer funds to other commanders who are having a hard time. Do you find this all strange? Certainly, it didn't sound normal. There's no other way. Commanders must be the heroes of the Ark. The central government can't have their heroes begging on the streets. There is a saying amongst commanders. A hero only begs from other heroes. The reality of the situation must not be exposed to the outside world. This way, the people will continue to idolize their heroes. They'll even dream of becoming one themselves.